Alright, so today we're talking about a new feature called Raw Input Buffer that just got put into Valorant. This feature really only affects 8K hertz mice, and if you don't know what an 8K hertz mouse is, it's pretty much, there's only really one good one out in the market right now, the Razer Viper 8K. Atom Palm is another company that's coming out with another 8K hertz polling rate mouse. You should really take a look at this company. This mouse is going to be very, very good. It's probably going to be the best mouse that's coming out of the market. And the reason why is, first of all, it's 8K hertz. It's 45 grams, I believe. And if you look at the dimensions, a lot of people use the G Pro wireless, which is 125 by 63.5 by 40. This is 123 by 64 by 39. So the dimensions are almost identical to the G Pro wireless. So this mouse is probably going to be used by a lot of pros, and I can't wait for it. It's been they've been delaying a lot of stuff. I understand there's a lot going on, but like I can't wait for this mouse to come out. It's going to be very, very good. But going back to the 8K hertz. So if we look here on Razer's website, they explain like what 1000 hertz is and versus 8K and how smooth the tracking is. When you're on 144 hertz or 240 hertz, this isn't too big of a deal. But when we start getting to 360 hertz and 390 hertz monitors, this is where it actually becomes a big issue. A thousand hertz polling rate isn't high enough to support like smooth tracking at 360 hertz and above. And a lot of people don't like 360 hertz monitors just because honestly, it's the mouse can't. A lot of mice just can't. It's just you see micro stutters and it's not smooth. I have a 360 hertz monitor, and literally up until this raw input buffer came out, I was playing on my BenQ 240, and I just switched back to my 360, and I just switched back to the Razer Viper 8K just because of this new feature, which makes 8K hertz very smooth in Valorant. And before, if you without this raw input feature off, like if you had it off or before it even existed, if you try to play in 8K hertz, your FPS would dip and it would just cause a lot of input latency issues. But now that they introduced this raw input feature, 8K hertz is amazing. It's great, and it's especially on 360 hertz or 390 hertz, it is amazing. It feels great. And usually, when we're talking polling rates, you want your polling rate to be at least 5 to 6 times the monitor refresh rate. So if we take, let's say we have a 240 hertz monitor and we times it by 5, so we want a polling rate around 1200 on a 240 hertz monitor. When we start talking about 360 hertz, we're talking almost 1800 to 2000 hertz polling rate that we need to have like smooth mouse input. So that's where like these mice can do 2K, 4K, and 8K, but 8K just feels amazing right now, especially with this again. This raw input buffer feature is a very good addition. Overwatch had it, and a bunch of other games have it, and now Valorant finally put it in. If you're on a 1K hertz polling rate, it's like a G Pro wireless or almost every other mouse out there. It's not going to really affect you. And there's been some complaints on like Reddit and Twitter how it's like not as smooth. So you might want to keep it off. You can test the feature, but it's under your sensitivity. You'll see a raw input buffer. I highly recommend people that have a 360 hertz monitor to really get a hold of a Viper 8K and just try it out because it feels very, very smooth. Very good addition. And if you want to learn more about 8K hertz like 8K hertz mice and input delay, this Razer Viper 8K delay analysis by Battle Nonsense is a great video to start. It shows how the input delay at 1600 DPI, where DPI actually matters, is at 8K hertz. So using 400 DPI versus 1600 DPI at certain variances. So here you can see the Razer Viper 8K at 1000 polling rate here, 400 here, 8000 polling rate at 400 DPI versus 3200 DPI or 1600 DPI. You can see the variance in input lag. It's system latency end to end, not input lag. System latency end to end. There's a huge bar here compared to these two here, where you want to be on a higher DPI because DPI actually matters when you start getting to really high polling rates. Very good video to watch. I highly recommend you check out this guy and subscribe to him. He has some very, very good videos and information. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, be on the lookout for this mouse. This mouse is going to take the market by storm. It's probably going to sell out very fast. I don't know what they're looking at for production time, but I highly recommend you go follow these guys on Twitter. I actually am not partnered with them or anything. I sent them an email and really wanted to get partnered with them, but obviously I'm very small compared to what's out there. So yeah, definitely check these guys out. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.